right. You guys ready? Yeah, good roller skating music. Yeah, all right, good morning. Hello. Hello. Sorry, I have too much ghee in my diet. Hey, good morning. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 20,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis, the overriding goal of planning our trades in advance, because trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Hello, welcome to my office. Whoa, I'm a little close. Welcome to my office. We're going to do some looking at the markets today. We'll go through what you want to cover. How about that? We can cover technical, fundamental, whatever. Been doing technical analysis 20-something years, a little more than 20 years. It's not, it's a good start. When did I get my economics degree? 2019? Yeah, so I know a few things anyways. I've lived through a few things, so I can share my experience with hopes that we improve your trading. Pretty simple. So let me know what you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to help you. Dollar pairs, yen pairs, gold, oil, Bitcoin, that kind of stuff is all good in the hood. If you need a broker, I'll solve it. I don't know, that's sort of a weird vanilla ice twist. Hey, look, we all need a broker, right? Most brokers make money by trading against you. Did you know that? Yeah, that's why it's super cheap. They trade against you and they make money that way. An ECN charges a small fee for their services. And they don't trade against you because the way that works is straight through processing, where it goes from your account through them, through the servers, into the interbanking system, through their liquidity partners. So they actually provide you a service. They're not, right? So anyway, so Trader's Way hopes, wants, and even needs you to succeed, for their business to succeed. And other brokers trade against you and laugh at you when they're making money on the back of your losses. So which broker do you want? One, a symbiotic relationship, or one that laughs when you lose? Okay, I like Trader's Way. I've been recommending them for 8 years. Check them out. If you look in the description below the video, there's more links than to Trader's Way. Investor Bootcamp. Okay, that's a community I've been running for 20 years, originally branded as FX Bootcamp. It's good. Below that, a 90-minute lecture on trading stocks. Okay, below that, free feedback. Oh, Highlander's like, what does it even mean? I've forgotten. ECN, electronic something network. It's an old acronym for way long electronic communication network. Thank you. But what it means is they take your trade and they send it to the liquidity partner. Okay? That's what it means. Okay? It's good. It's good. That's what you want. All right. TradePlans.ai will give you feedback on your technical analysis. It's like a coach. It's like a coach. You have a coach that will look over your shoulder and give you some feedback on your technical analysis. Dominica! Well, that's not quite true. Osamo, that's not quite true. Yes, they're in Dominica. Right? Overseen by the ECCB. All right. Then you go to, so anyways, TradePlans.ai. QuantBox is where we get all our fundamentals. QuantBox is really awesome. I've been working on the new AI upgrade to that for 5 weeks. And we're very, very, very close. I wrote a book a long time ago. It's gone up in value. No, right. The ECB, the Eastern, what is it? Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, ECCB. Okay, and then, look, if you want some Forex stuff specifically, here's a YouTube channel. 10,000 subscribers, 2,000 videos. Did you know that? There's 2,000 videos? Two 1,000 videos on this channel. Wow, 4 years ago, huh? Check that out. I can comment, all that kind of stuff. Anyways, let's take a look. Hey, there's Fat Wayne. Wow, it's heavy. So let me get this bad boy set up, and we'll see if it does the job. All right, so after reading the instructions, it appears that touch that to the back of the... Okay, so the screen is into this laptop. I might try to do it and keep the
There's me at the Harvard Club in Boston.
The screen. The other computer is not quite...
I don't have that laptop anymore. My son's got the little monitor. I don't even have that machine. Lots have changed.
Okay, so I didn't follow the instructions, but it's a weird space.
Neat, right?
So I couldn't do the box and all that kind of stuff. But it looks like it's in, and it looks curious about my my other workstation, not my trading workstation, my webinar workstation. So that's the project I have going today. So anyway, so what I ended up doing was I bought another monitor.
That's me in my kitchen. Funny, my office kitchen. My house has 3 kitchens. Well, technically 2.5 kitchens. Anyways, yeah, the thermometer. Yeah, it's a who did that one? Galileo. I don't remember where that is. It's over there in my office kitchen. Anyways, so we'll go back to where we were. So there's lots of resources made available. Okay. I do have some new setups that I'm playing with. So yeah, I have some other fun setups for computers. I can set my laptop is 2 screens, so I can do a video on that. And then I have a setup for it where it's 4 screens. Look at this. I'm going through the, like, let's I can get out of this. I'm on YouTube, watching me on YouTube, watching me on YouTube, watching me on YouTube. How do I go? If I go to Forex.Today and community, I think it's here, isn't it? No. Okay, there's an old. Oh, I missed that laptop. Oh, there's me at Harvard. Oh my God. All right. This is my old laptop with 3 screens. I have a new laptop with 2 screens. So where is that posted? I thought it was posted here. I have a version. So I have 2 screens, 3 screens, and 4 screens. And then I have a new vertical setup of 3 screens. So this is 3 screens horizontal. Where's the other one? It's not on Forex.Today. Where would it be? FX Bootcamp? Yeah. So here it is. And then here's my 4 screen. Are you able to look it up without voting? I guess you can't quite see it. So is there a way to open this up? Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4 screens. And so now I have a triple 1, 2, and 3 where it's all vertical. Anyway, so as traders, we love all this stuff, right? So yeah, I should probably do some videos on that. When I go to Starbucks, people freak out. So I have like I said, I have a vertical version and I have a second version of the vertical version on its way. The thing is, it's still in manufacturing. They've never sold one before. And so anyway, so I have a vertical one being manufactured, and I had another one by the company that made this. They delivered it the other day, and it worked. It looks nice. So maybe I'll do videos on those someday. Anyways, let's get on with it. Cool. I don't have pictures of me at the ECCB. ECCB. The leadership there is quite good. I've forgotten his name, but I'll have to look it up again. Let's just say he earned my respect, and I looked him up and stuff like that. And the education came from I can't even remember now, so I'm too tired. But anyways, yeah, this is a real central bank with real rules. Right? They do regulate. I've been there. I've been to the ECCB. It's not a particularly pretty building. Are they not going to have any pictures? Agency offices. Okay, like for example, they have offices in Dominica. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not going to spend time on that, but yeah, it's a real place with real people. They have real concerns. It's not phony baloney nonsense. They're real people. You can go meet with them. You can go talk with them. They're real people. Anyways, so up and up and up and up and up. We are now approaching the target. Remember, the target was 75. Okay, so we are now in that take profit zone. Okay, remember, everyone's trying to get to target and go on holidays early. So you got to be very careful as we approach levels of profit taking. Okay, gold not going up, not going down, and that makes sense to me. The one thing I can tell you
is if there are bears, they like this price. That's the best selling price. We already knew that. We had that big up and then the total collapse. And so it comes down to whether you want to buy it or not. Ashraf says, nice call, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. It was a simple setup, though. So yeah, I find it just sort of neither here nor there, but I appreciate it. I always like positive feedback. Now, and that was on the oil trade. With this gold trade, look, it is bullish. There is no doubt. It's just probably not the world's greatest trade. Unless you believe there's going to be an increased demand based on aggregate demand. You could say if the U.S. economy has a soft landing and the next 2 or 3 years are very bullish for the stock market, then gold will go up. But let me tell you that what aggregate demand means is demand for everything will go up. So are you really buying gold, or are you just buying like a rising tide raises all ships? Is there any alpha attached to that? Okay, an increase in demand, but an increased demand for everything, then you're not really buying one thing. You're just catching a little bit of everything. It's not just gold, it's everything. So there's no real alpha. And in that case, you might do better somewhere else. So gold might go up, but something else might go up more, and you're kind of missing it. For some reason, you might just have an affinity for gold. So it's not right or wrong, but most likely you could catch something just as good or better. Therefore, you're not really owning it, right? It's not like an inflation hedge and all that. Not at the moment, but if inflation comes back, then maybe later. But we'll get to that point. We'll see. So, but if gold goes up, something else will probably go up more. So a bull is going to think about it this way, and I don't know if that's necessarily true, but look, we are rising. So you can do it this way. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it this way. The more you do this, though, it's dangerous because we're at resistance, and then we're going to be at resistance again, and then we're going to be at resistance again. So it's not going to be a quick and easy trade, but you could do it if you want it, especially if you want to hold it for a long time. YouTube is so funny. They put that little heart thing, so you can do like hearts, and you can do confetti, oh, yay, and 100%. But they put it right over the chat, so I can't read the most current chat. It's so funny. Like, you know what we should do? We should place it right on the newest message so that you can't read it. Yeah, thank you, YouTube. I appreciate that. It's very helpful. Can you sense the sarcasm? Anyways, look, gold, okay, aggregate demand, fine. The other thing, too, is if an ounce of gold is always an ounce of gold, then the other thing that will make this go up in a risk-on scenario is that the US dollar weakens in a risk-on scenario. So just by virtue of it being priced in something that buys less, then you'll need more dollars to buy the same 1 ounce of gold. So it looks like the price is going up, but it's really the dollar falling. Not the asset value, just the price is changing. And remember, cash is trash, right? So anyway, whatever. Do it if you're going to do it. It is bullish. I can tell you that on the daily. It is bullish. We don't have to, argue and negotiate over it. No, yeah, it is bullish. It's a slow climb. We know that because the 55 is in control. But okay. We'll climb Jacob's ladder here. Bitty, 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 can't you see? Yeah. Sometimes your trades just hypnotize me. Yeah. My cargo, escargot. Okay. Yeah, riding the 21. Very complicated. It's very hard to explain. Explain me, Lucy. Okay. Down to the 21. Buy. We're riding the 21. It's amazing though, like, shorter term traders, they're on 15-minute charts and they're on hourly charts and they're battling this out, winning and losing money. And then it pops and they're making money. Then they lose on the pullback. And then there's this, and then there's that. And then there's a good day. And then there's a bad day. And there's a good day. And then there's a bad day. And there's a great day. And there's all this excitement. And you could just, buy it off the moving average. And buy it off the moving average. And then in a month, buy it off the moving average. But you'd have to lose the drama, huh? Got to lose the drama. It won't be so exciting. Yeah, won't be so exciting. But hey, we were at 16 and now we're at 45. Whoa, bro. Whoa. Yeah, but you had to go from March to October with nothing. And then it popped because of the potential for ETFs. It's kind of funny, huh? It's just kind of funny. It's just kind of funny. It wasn't legitimate. Now it's legitimate. All right? But it is what it is. Very cool. Zip around at the stock market. Okay, yep. We've had our pullbacks. Oh, yeah. Now, I've already talked about this morning, hours ago. I've already talked about this at quantbox.co. So you can get that for free. The link is in the description below. Or is it? Maybe it's not. Maybe it should be. youtube.com/@quantbox, right there, quantbox. Okay. And here you go. The new one's coming out soon. Okay. So feel free to subscribe there. Of course, you could just pay for the service and join us live. But we're working on some pretty cool AI. And the AI is going to be just like you. It's going to log in to QuantBox. Let me just open it up. If you like artificial intelligence, man, we're working on some crazy cool stuff. All right. So the AI will look at this and look at this for like 20 assets. It'll look at this It'll look at this. Okay, it'll look at this. It'll look at this. Oops. I already did that. It'll look at that, and that, and that, and that, and that. More and more and more. It'll look at all the stuff. And then notice all the little details that have changed. So for example, look at all this data. And it'll notice what's different from yesterday. In fact, it'll notice what's different from an hour ago. Now, then it has to realize what's important to you. And then it has to prioritize how important is it to you. And one of two things will happen. You'll receive a text message. Hey, CAD yen just went bullish just now. And it'll say why. Because we finally got the technical trend to click over. Okay? It's now very bullish. It might send you a text message and say that's a high priority item. Or it'll send you an email and you can read it when you get it. You just don't need your phone to go pa-ching, bing, 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 bing. In that case, you'll just get an email and say, hey, Quantbox will say, hey, something important has updated. Here's what it is. Imagine that it'll read the Commitment of Traders report for you and every Sunday send you an overview of what's changed. Not just that you have the data, the AI will now automate the process of you reading it, and then it'll highlight all the important things that have changed. So now you're fully automating your research, not just that automating that you get the research, but now your review of the research is now automated through artificial intelligence. Isn't that ridiculous? So now you basically get, like, let's say, a morning report or an instant notification. It's insane, isn't it? Do you know how much data points is necessary to create a Quantbox? You know, tens of thousands of data points. And now you'll notice every little change that's important to you. And there's no way you could do that in the past, huh? Isn't that just amazing? Like, it's insane. And so right now, I'm at the point where I'm trying to write the messages along with the process. So the logic that the AI that we need to build into this is what's important to you and how important is it, and then what needs to be said. So if we send you an email or if we send you a text, what will it actually say? How do we translate this into words? Okay. So anyways, this is what I'm doing for you. I think when I'm done or nearly done, like this we'll start beta testing it maybe as soon as during the holidays. So while you're on vacation, on Christmas, you'll get at least emails that say, hey, look, here's what's updating while you're on holidays. At least an email. We won't bother you during the holiday. But maybe emails, right? At least once a day, like a morning report of everything that's changed on Quantbox that's important. And then the next step is I'm buying phone numbers all around the world so that I can send you a text message from your local phone number. I think we have one person that's signed up in Holland, so I'm buying a Dutch phone number for him so I can send him a text. Me and my Dutch phone number. Huh? If I get two, is that a double Dutch? Anyways, really cool stuff though, huh? Like truly amazing stuff. So I'll have to send out an email. People signed up for $200 a year to get the AI going. I'll probably send out 1 or 2 emails, last chance, if you're going to get in on the first wave and be one of the first users of that alert, AI based. It's not a trading alert, it's an information alert. But anyways, if you want to be part of that new service on top of your QuantBox sub, yeah, there will be probably a last chance. Last chance. And it took, what, 5 weeks? So by the time we're all said and done, 6 weeks of development. And so by January 1st, I imagine we'll have everything up and running, including the texting part. Neat. All right, so let's get back to this. Okay, up, sideways, up, and the what? Sideways and up. Well, that is one point. So let's do comparative analysis. Okay, Dow is at target. S&P 500 is near target, and NASDAQ is not quite as near to target. Okay, why? This had to do with rotation. Once again, I covered this hours ago, but whatever. Let's do it again. Okay, there's this period here of NASDAQ was crazy strong and then came down hard and then came up and then down and up and down and for days. Okay, what was that? Why such a massive move up and then a total collapse? You can mark it like this. Why did it do that? Well, this is the first wave of profit taking, and the money rotated here. See, we had a big move up and no massive decline. This move went up, sideways as the money came in, and then up, where this one had a bigger back, and then it took longer, and then finally went up. Much money rotated here. See, and you're like, well, Wayne, it looks the same to me. Well, let's put it this way. This has, let's say, the lowest beta. Let's say this has a balanced beta, or it is the beta. And then this has a higher beta, which means this one should be hitting target first, this one should be hitting target second, this one should be hitting target third, but it's the reverse right now. And what that explains is because this has the highest volatility or variance, okay, that smart money said, well, I'm going to get out of the high risk stuff and I'm going to move it over to the low risk stuff. For now, they're not out of the market. They just moved the money from high risk to low risk, and suddenly the low risk moved most. So suddenly the low risk became the high risk, and the high risk became the low risk. And now you get this rally here up, but I would suppose with less volume. Oops, don't do that. Delete. All right. Oh, that's what I was trying to do. Okay. And volume is declining since that. You see? We're talking about the market moves sideways and the volume's dropping. So this is a thin herd. Okay. Cool. Now, just out of curiosity, does this show up or does it also show thin? No, it also shows thin. Some sidelines action, but something is showing that the volatility is increased and the volatility is decreased relative to their normal betas. So anyway, so here we are, again, 3 assets. And we have on target, near target, not quite as near to target. So there's two scenarios that I'd look at here. And of course, I don't know the future. One of them is like, that's it for the markets. Okay, we just peaked. Okay, that could be one scenario. Okay, that could be one scenario. It could be. So you need to plan for it. And in particular, if you're a bear, you gotta wait though. I don't see double tops yet. Do you? All right. So if you don't see a double top, you can't. As a bear, I advise against it. Now you can counter trend off of that. I don't like that style of trading, but at least you're in a take profit zone. This one is not, and this one is definitely not. So if you sold this, I still consider that degenerate gambling, in my humble opinion. Okay, so the next scenario, and I know you can't quite see this because I'm zoomed out. I guess I can zoom back in just so you can see it. You're like, the words, all the pivots, I can't see it. All right, relax. Okay, so scenario number 2. Okay, this goes up to 4,800. Okay, this goes up to 17,000. Okay, and this goes up to 38,000. And those are the tops. Okay. So let me know what you guys think. Have we reached the top now, or will we reach the top later? Whatever later means. Richard says, no catalyst to bring the market down, but if people take profit today, then that will be the catalyst to bring the market down. What I'm suggesting is you need to be ready. A lot of FOMO. There is a lot of cash on the sidelines. $6 trillion of cash that's not in the market yet. And on the long-term horizon, I do believe we're going to have an AI renaissance. And we could have NASDAQ going to 30,000 over the next 10 years. The NASDAQ doubles in the next 10 years. That kind of stuff. A yen, a BOJ pivot, yes, but they haven't pivoted. They haven't pivoted yet. But that's not going to change much, really, because that would probably kill the carry trade, or at least diminish it quite a bit. And we're heavily into a carry trade now, so that brings probably the yens down, and that's risk off, but maybe that's what you're thinking. I think what will happen is we'll lose correlation for a while. Maybe for a few years. But the massive carry is probably nearly done. Okay? So if you didn't get it over the last couple of years, you missed out. Okay? Okay? Yeah. So yesterday at investorbootcamp.com, the swing trading and the day trading group met, and we actually read the Bank of Japan statement. We actually read it. I brought it up, had the document. I probably still have the document in front of me, and we read it. Is it this one? No, that's Switzerland. So we read that one. Is it this one? Yeah, there it is. Look, that's it. So, right, the cool thing, one cool thing about Investor Bootcamp is we do the work most traders, if not nearly all traders, are unwilling or incapable of doing. So we actually read the reports and then discuss it. And you start to see the difference between the quality in central banks and stuff like that. Okay? So anyways, yeah, cool. Cool, neat stuff. I like the fact we actually do the work. I don't think many other gurus would do that. I don't know. I never had a guru, but. So anyways, we're getting pretty close. I want you to pay attention to that. Yeah, I suppose, right? Yeah, someone, right? Although there's a little bit of barrier to entry. You kind of have to understand macroeconomics to be able to do it. Do you need a Harvard degree? No. But at least your guru does. What else should we do? Maybe kind of look around the world. Okay, Japan is back to its previous top. Notice how it's using the channel for support. Big recovery. Okay, big recovery. Part of that, of course, is the realization that maybe the Bank of Japan doesn't raise interest rates soon. And so therefore it's game on. Or you can just say, well, Wayne, it's pretty simple. On a weekly chart, trading is such as you make a higher high, then you buy a roll reversal. Okay. And all you do is reload. Yeah. Cool. Good for you. But you have to have a much longer point of view, right? Ashraf says, why get a Harvard degree when you can get all the information for free or for cheap? Right. When you work at an institutional level, it's a, how do you say, a badge of honor. It's part of the vetting process. Okay, Ashraf? It's a vetting, V-E-T, right? A vetting process. Do I actually know what I'm talking about? Has somebody else screened me, my background, my intelligence? Have I passed exams and tests? Can I take 50? Was it 50? 40, maybe it's 40. Did I take 40 16-week classes all about economics and finance? Like, do I have follow through? Do I have fortitude? Am I tough? Do I have a long-term point of view? Can I get things done? Can I complete something that takes 4 or 5 years of daily work? Am I able to make sacrifices like live away from my wife and children for months at a time? And then when compared to the 99% of people rejected, which is
one part of the badge of honor. Okay. Obviously, being accepted, Harvard says, we rejected 99% of people, but this guy's special for some reason. Then, with the 20 people that were accepted, 10 people couldn't complete the program because it was too difficult. So now there's emphasis on, all right, well, of the 1% that got accepted, 50% of them still couldn't complete it. So now there's something special about the 10, okay? And then at the end of all of this, Ashraf, I was an A student in a program deemed too difficult. Meanwhile, I had a life. I was married. I raised children. I had a job. I did stuff on top of all of that. And so really what it comes down to, Ashraf, it truly is a vetting process where anybody, when they're thinking about, let's say I'm raising money for a fund. Am I smart? Am I tough? Am I dedicated? Can I follow through? Am I better than the best? And that Harvard degree answers that question wholeheartedly in less than 1 second. That's what it is. So when I stand up, let's say I'm standing on stage and I'm like, hi, my name is Wayne McDonald. I used to work for NASA. I used to work for Apple and Cisco Systems. My education comes from Harvard Business School, Oxford, and MIT. I have 25 years of trading and investing experience, and before that, I was a venture capitalist. And now I have a new opportunity for you. Right? Yeah, that background is a really good foundation to say, this guy's not full of shit. I don't have to explain like, well, I know a lot about macroeconomics, but I don't have a degree, but I have a certificate from, edX or something like that. There's a level that it shows. And so there's a value to it. Because people are like, if I give this guy $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, what's the likelihood he's not going to lose it all? Well, a bachelor's degree and a master's degree from Harvard says, well, at least Harvard vetted me. And at least I was competent enough to do the workload and be, with the highest grade possible, right? So yeah, it's just, okay, checks off. Okay, this guy has a level of legitimacy. And so that's what it really truly is worth. Did I learn stuff at Harvard? I did. Did I learn a lot? Well, I knew a lot. But I'll tell you what, my Harvard email address opens doors. Yeah. 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 It does. Honestly, it does. It does matter. So if you're wondering, like, because a lot of people say, is it worth it? I'm like, well, if you need it to do that kind of stuff, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. And so at Ashraf, at some point, you will have to describe your background to a potential investor. And so it's a big gap if you say, I'm really smart. I'm a real hard worker. I'm really focused. I'm very skilled. I'm very knowledgeable at what I do. But I don't have a track record. I don't have a formal education. And all of a sudden, you're like, so wait, you have no track record of success anywhere? You don't have any formal education? You don't have any real track record? You don't, so I'm just going to gamble on you that you're telling me what you're doing? Okay. Well, Hero says, Wayne, I'm very impressed. Thank you. How can a regular person like me compete with you? Well, I'll tell you what.
and this is a true story. When I started FX Bootcamp back in 2004, somewhere not far from that, so 2005, 2006, 2007, somewhere in there, I did an in-person meeting in New York City where boot campers, and I used to do this a lot, where I'd meet with 4 or 5 boot campers, and we'd meet in places like Las Vegas or New York City, places I wanted to go. And we would just get together and trade overnight, that kind of stuff, literally overnight. And we met at like the Waldorf Astoria and stuff. But one time, because I like the old hotels, right? So I once rented the penthouse, or it was the second largest penthouse in the Waldorf in New York City, which was really cool. So I had, in the hotel room, I had a dining room for 12 people. So we had about 8 people around the dining room in my hotel room at the Waldorf Astoria. Like, oh my God, right? Yeah, but I lived there. It was great. But one time I went to a hotel, and I believe it was called the Algonquin. And it was just an old hotel, and they had a jazz bar next as part of the building called the Redwood Room, and there's a little coffee shop also part. And this is where like the beatniks would meet, right? The beatniks. I'm like, cool, but it's even older than that. But there's a lot of history of this old hotel. I love old hotels, so I host an overnight meeting there, right? And so people met up and we traded. Oh, is that right? Yeah, the Redwood Room is now a sushi joint, though, which is horrifying to me. But they gutted a beautiful old jazz club. Oh my God. Yeah, but now it's sushi. Like New York really lacks sushi, right? Anyways, so I do this overnight thing, and the next day I decide to walk down the street because I like Bryant Park, and that's not far from Bryant Park. So I'm like, I'm going to tiptoe my way to Bryant Park. And, back then you could even smoke a cigar in Bryant Park, and now you get yelled at. But anyway, so I'm going to go over there and do my thing, read a newspaper from the New York City Public Library in the beautiful park. And so I walk down the street. New York is really cool because they put plaques on many of the buildings, and they tell you the history. So I walk down, and there's an old building. I read the plaque. Well, first of all, you read about the Algonquin, and then you go 2 buildings over. There's another plaque, and you read that one. Then you get to like, is it the New York City Yacht Club is right there, right? So you're reading the New York, it's a beautiful old building, right? Beautiful. It's crazy. And the most powerful people in New York City belong to the New York City Yacht Club. So if you're going to be elected mayor or senator or something like that, you got to know people at this place. So I'm reading the plaque, and I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. And I peek through the door. And then I go one more building over, and it's another beautiful old building, and there's a plaque, and I read it. And it's the Harvard Club of New York City. Okay, hero? 2006 maybe, and I'm looking at it, and I'm read about the history of the Harvard people. And at that time I had no college degree. I went to university, but I was preparing to be an astronaut. So my original degree was in aviation. Okay? That fell through when I became diabetic. That's why all of a sudden there's a gap, right? So anyways, I read the plaque, and I look through the door, hero, and I see people inside. And I'm like, I never had an opportunity to be in an organization like that. I grew up in rural Canada. I grew up poor. No one even talked to me about going to university. And I'm like, but I think I'm smart enough. I'm a hard worker. I'm an entrepreneur. But at that point, I actually didn't have a college degree. And I looked through there, and I'm like, if I had been born different in a different time or a different place or in a different class, I could have been groomed or something, but I looked through those doors and I remember thinking, like, they don't seem any different than me. Like, I think I could compete, but they really are smart and they really are successful and all that. And I can't even go inside the building. I'm not even allowed inside. But I'm reading it, and I had sort of a sinking feeling that I'll never forget, that I feel like I could have been a member of that club, but I never had the opportunity. So I fought my way in, and I went to Harvard in my 40s. And I'm now a member of the organization. I am a member of that club. I made it. It can be done. Now, my way is untraditional, but I did it, and I don't have just 1 degree, I have 2 degrees. I really, really did it. And now my next step is I'm going to make a donation to the Harvard Club of New York City, and I'm going to try to get my painting on the wall. That's my strategy. I'm going to make a donation to the organization. They have lots of money, so I have to give them something that they don't have. And I've acquired something that they will find more valuable than money. And I'm going to try to find a way to get my at least my name on the wall, but ideally an oil painting of me in a robe. Yeah. And really, 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 really become a member. So Hero, it will always seem far-fetched. Whatever that dream you're trying to do, make it big and find a way. And it's an incredible story where I don't even believe my story. But I can tell you God's honest truth. There was a time I stood on that spot and I had a sinking feeling. Sinking. A life moment. A moment. How many moments in your life do you have? Thousands of moments every day. And sometime in 2006, that was a sinking moment I'll never forget. And wow. And I've had many moments actually like that. That wasn't just one. So Hero, you can do it, okay? I don't know how, and what your goal is and all that, and you're in many ways you'll have to be untraditional. Okay? Now, Kendo says vanity. I don't feel like it's vanity. It may come across that way, and that's fair. To me, I was going to say pride, and then pride is a deadly sin and all that. I don't believe pride is a deadly sin. There's a difference between ego and egotism, and there's a different I think in the movie Seven, which is about the 7 deadly sins, he mutilates a woman, and she'd rather die than live mutilated. That would be, in this case, there's something where if you have strength, that's ego. Egotism is arrogance. An ego gives you strength when you need it. No, but you're making a point, and, you're making a point, Kando, which is fine. It's valid. But I'm saying you have to have a level of ego so that when you're held down, you push to stand up. When you're held down, you fight. You push to stand up, and you stand up tall. So there's a strength. And egotism says you deserve it, even though you haven't earned it, right? And we know that is sort of a false pride, a false ego. You're worshiping a version of you that doesn't exist. And that would be, one of those deadly sins, so to speak, a false worship of a fake self. So for me, it was pride on the other way, where I had to prove it to myself. Look, I was proud, when my mother and my father saw me graduate from Harvard. Why? I don't know. Why didn't, but I had them come there. I was proud when my mother and my daughter attended my graduation ceremony and saw Angela Merkel give the commencement speech, the most powerful woman in the world, the only woman with nuclear bombs. And was it the pride for me? No, I was just that moment. The moment was the thing. Right? It was the moment. So there's some sort of pride with I believe, without the arrogance, but it can come across wrong for sure. So I would only filter all of this and say, you can do amazing things that seem impossible. Another impossible story is standing in a rural town in Canada at high school age, a town of 5,000 people and one street light. I have no money, no legacy, no real education. Like I said, no one talked to me about going to university, so that wasn't even on the plate. Amazing, right? And I say, I want to see the world and I want to do important things. I don't know what they are, but I know that that's what I want to do. And 5, maybe 6 years later, I'm going to a board meeting to be elected to the board of directors for a corporation in New York City, and George Soros is on the board, the vice president of General Electric's on the board, the vice president of Arthur Andersen, like a partner of Arthur Andersen, a representative of the United Nations, the former president of AT&T, and more than that. I mean, there was 25 people on this board. And at that meeting on Wall Street, at a powerful law firm, in a giant meeting room, I'm elected to the board of directors. Now, how the hell can that be possible? I went from that parking lot to that boardroom in 5 to 6 years. It's impossible. It's not even plausible. There's no way, except it happened. I was there. I got the picture. I'm in the meeting minutes. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah. So I don't know. The impossible has happened. So for someone that says, how can you compete? You should just start. How do you compete? You start competing. Okay? The only way to maybe be amazing is to start doing amazing things. And you start today. And if you can't today, you won't tomorrow. It's not going to get easier in 3 days. So you might as well just start now. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, I say can do, but it's can do, right? Can do. Can do amazing things, yeah. It will be harder tomorrow. And here's the other thing for you guys that are on the younger side. You don't see it now, but if you wait, you run out of time. It never gets easier. Every day is harder. You should have started yesterday. And tomorrow's not better than today. So all I can tell you, though, is in the long run, you must dream. You must have dreams. And many of you that know me, I have dreams all the time. And very often, to my own risk, I share many of those dreams with you. And from that, I have to triage and pick pick ones that get done. For every one thing I do, there's 10 amazing things that I haven't been able to get to yet. But I know how to do it, and I can do it. I just can't do 11 things at once. But you have to have this ability to dream. You have to have this ability to see the future. That's all a dream is. You have to be able to see a better future. Otherwise, there's no reason to get out of bed. So if you can see a better future, now you have to connect the work with it. And that's what's hard. But time moves faster and faster and faster. You can go to Harvard for 5 years and every day is a living hell. And then all of a sudden, 5 years seems a million years ago. Five years can go by in a minute, but every day is hell. And then it's done. So see yourself in the future, connect it. Now you have to understand, I'm a businessman. So from an early age, from that time when I worked in the nonprofit world, I learned how to business plan. So you create very specific goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely, which means you have to connect a timeline to these things. KPAs or KPIs are another way of doing these things, but you attach action items and timelines. And you just grab one of the bulls by the horn and go. So, yes, you can do it. You can. And the thing is, very often you'll find as you start achieving that dream that you had, your vision for the future, you'll notice that you didn't dream big enough. It'll just take you there, but beyond your wildest dreams. Especially if you've been held down your whole life, you don't even know how to dream big enough because everything seems impossible. I know that feeling. I honestly know that feeling where nothing seems possible, yet alone something amazing. Amazing? There's no amazing in the world. I lived in a world where nothing was amazing. Then you'd watch TV or movies of Hollywood of people driving through Beverly Hills, and I'm like, is that even a real place? You know the scene, like someone's driving down Beverly Hills and they have a Rolls Royce convertible and the top's down and all the palm trees on either side and mansion and mansion and mansion. I'm like, is that a real place or is that just BS? So someone that's been held down from birth doesn't know how to dream big enough, yet alone even have the courage to have a dream, because why have a dream if it never gets fulfilled? It's just heartbreak, right? So what happens is you turn benign and you turn cold and you're like, why even dream? It's pointless. It just brings heartache. Someone that's gone through, let's say, a divorce or lost someone, someone that's passed away, you're like, you don't even know if you could love again. The answer is you can, right? You can dream and you can achieve them. You've just never seen anybody do it. You don't know how to do it. But I came from that similar place where people didn't dream. I'm telling you, people didn't have dreams where I came from. And I got out and I saw the world, and the world said, you know what? You're focused, Wayne, you're focused and you're driven, and you're connected to a mission. And we love you for it. We support you for it. We'll help you succeed. We'll teach you how to dream. And we'll teach you how to connect your dreams to reality so that you achieve these. And that was the blessing. That was the blessing. So by the time I was 21 years old, I ran a company of 3,000 people. Once again, impossible. And so here I am in 2006, staring through the glass doors of the Harvard Club. And I'm like, I ran a company of 3,000 people. And they won't let me into this club. So there's a sinking pit in my stomach. But I'm like, but I know I could do it. If I ever get the opportunity, I'm going to grab the bull by the horns. And I'm going to prove myself, not to them, to me. So what, 18 years later? Yeah, on the 20th anniversary of that day. Maybe I need to put that as a goal. On the 20th anniversary of that day, they're going to put a painting of my picture on the wall. And I'll feel good. It'll be a great day. Maybe you'll be there with me. We'll have a little ceremony. We'll have some cocktails. We'll remember it forever. It's going to be a great day. And if that gives you the courage and the strength to get out of bed and do what needs to get done to achieve a dream of yours, if you accomplish that dream, almost certainly it'll lead you to places you can't even dream of. And that's the wonderful part of being able to drive towards a goal. When you get there, it's better than you imagined. Better. I want you to dream big, and I want you to get there. And in that moment, you hear my voice now, where you're at the top of the mountain, and you're looking as far as you can see, and it's beautiful. And you'll say, you know what, Wayne, you're right. Climbing this mountain was a bitch. And there were probably 4 or 5 times you almost quit. But looking at it, you know what? It's better. It's not just the view of the sun and the clouds and the peaks in the far distance, but you see inside your heart. You see inside your soul. And it's better than you imagined. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average.